How do we choose the right RV for us? There are so many different kind of RVs out on the market, and it can be a bit frustrating and difficult to find out what is the right RV if we are going to buy one and you have never tried RVing before. So I will try to go through all the different classes of RVs. Typically they are the motorized motorhomes that are divided into class A, B and C. And then on top of that you have the ones that you pull after a pickup truck. It can be a fifth wheeler and it can be a bumper pull travel trailer, and there are even these small pop-ups. But which one is really the right for you? So I'll try to go through all the different styles and also my experience with what are the benefits of the different kind of RVs. Hey dear friends on YouTube, I'm Torkild Brunsnes and I run the channel 6 Wheels Down. My wife and I are full-time RVers and we live in our Thor Outlaw. Our goal is to travel to every state in North America. We travel with our 4 dogs, 3 Dachshunds and an English Bulldog. We have our motorcycles with us and use them to drive out to interesting places in every state. When you live in a motorhome, sometimes things break, and we will make videos of some of it. I also make music, and most of the music is recorded in the garage of our RV. Let's try to go through the different classes of RVs. I will start with the motorized ones and the class A. It's the biggest of the motorhomes, and they usually come with 6 wheels. They have driver and passenger seat up front, and it's an open cabin, and you have access to the kitchen, to the bathroom while you drive, which can be a huge benefit for long trips. It's the one that provides the most luxury and the nicest interior, and I would definitely say that's a kind of motorhome I would recommend for people going full-time RVing. If you're not going full-time RVing, other classes could be looked at as well. But all this luxury of course comes with a price tag, and you can easily spend more than $1 million for one of the nice diesel versions. But you can also get gas engine versions, which is what we have. They are a little bit cheaper. We have one with a garage in the rear, a Thor Outlaw, and that's because we have motorcycles and we like to bring them with us. Next is the Class B motorhomes. These are usually built based on a van chassis, have 4 wheels, and they get a very good fuel economy. You can often get them with diesel engines, so if you drive around a lot and you go off-roads into more remote areas, this will be the ideal solution for you. Go hiking trips and so on. It's a very good option. They're very small, you don't have much storage space, so that's one of the downfalls, and your water tank and wastewater tanks will be very small as well. The price will range somewhere between $40,000 up to $200,000 US dollars. The Class C motorhomes, they look more like a truck than a van. They are usually built on a truck chassis like a Ford 350 or a 450 or 550, and they're easy to recognize because they have this overhanging section that extends beyond the roof on the front cap, and that usually provides room for a bunk overhead bed. They can be spacious, they can almost be as big as the Class A's, so they're very usable, I would say, especially for families that goes on holiday trips, weekend trips. You can really get around in those with the entire family. But they have less storage space. In the Class A's you have the huge base underneath that goes through from one side to the other, whereas in the Class C the storage space underneath is less. If we look at price, then you are ranging somewhere from $50,000 and up to $200,000 for this kind of motorhome. Fifth wheelers are the ones being pulled by a pickup truck, and they might be a very good option if you have a pickup truck already. But be aware you need a pretty large size and heavy pickup truck, at least a half ton or a 1 ton, to be able to pull these large rigs here. They're very spacious, and you have room for the entire family, and they're very suitable and very commonly used also for full-time RVers. They have tons of storage space, so they're really good for full-time RVers. We see them used a lot for that. So definitely a good option if you have a pickup truck already. But be aware, if you have to buy both a fifth wheeler and a pickup truck, now suddenly price-wise you're getting very close to buying a Class A, either a used gas or diesel version or a new gas version. So that's worth to consider. Bumper pull travel trailers are a good entry level for people who are new to RVing. You can get them in all kinds of sizes, so it will be possible to find one that can be pulled on the hitch for almost any car. Of course not too small, you need to be able to handle the load. But one of the disadvantages is that they are sensitive to wind when you drive, and also to load distribution, especially if you get the weight too much in the rear end. You will see these often on the freeways that they have crashed because they start to sway back and forth, and people lose control over them. So be very careful with that if you choose a travel trailer. But they have good space. You can get them in almost any kind of layout with bunk beds and bedrooms, so you get a lot of value for the money. So a really good entry level to get into RVing. There are other kinds of RVs available, like the pop-up trailers, the truck campers that you put in the truck of or in the bed of a truck, or there is the big Super C, which is basically on a Freightliner chassis, but else very much like the C-Class. And then there's the B Plus that looks more like an A-Class. It's in the lower right corner, but these are not so common. And I want to focus here mainly on the ones that could be used for full-time RVing. But the Super C, of course, in the lower left corner can be used absolutely for full-time RVing. They have the size and everything like an A-Class, and is built on a very solid chassis as well. We've now gone through all the different classes of RVs, and as you can see, there are really many different. So what you really need to ask yourself before deciding which kind of RV you choose is to ask yourself, what are you going to use it for? There might be a huge difference between going to some of the national parks for small weekend trips, where you can do with a small pop-up camper, truck camper, or a travel trailer, or if you want to go on long vacations across United States or go full-time RVing, then you might be looking at A-Class motorhomes, C-Class motorhomes, or perhaps the fifth wheelers. So it really depends a lot on what are you going to use it for. Another thing is to think about how many people will be with you. Will you have visitors coming to stay with you, or are you only 2 people traveling? Because you know the size of the RV can really depend on a lot on how many beds do you need to have in the unit, how many bathrooms, and so on. A good thing to do is to make yourself like a checklist of things that you say these are priorities for us. Nowadays it's worth looking at things like, do I want to carry toys with me, like motorcycles, 4-wheelers, ATVs and so on? Because then you might be looking at toy hauler options. There are a few A-classes that have a garage for motorcycles and ATVs. We have a Thor Outlaw. It's one of those A-classes that is a toy hauler. But there are also fifth wheelers that have garage in the rear, and there are also travel trailers with a garage in the rear. So that's really worth considering. Another thing is, what about kitchens? Do you want outdoor kitchen facilities? Some come with outdoor kitchens, some have outdoor TVs as well. So try to think about these things. How much storage space will you need? If you're full-time RVing, storage space is really important so that you can stow winter clothes away and take summer clothes out and opposite. So all that really plays in. So make a good checklist for yourself. What are the priorities for you? And then you can start narrowing down on which class of RV, and when you have narrowed down on the class, then it's about going out to dealers and look at whether you want this layout or another layout. They have so many different layouts within each class as well. So make a checklist. I would also ask myself the question, do I want to buy new or used? Because there is a huge price difference. I can tell you, we were just looking at a big A-class that just pulled in here at our campsite here today. It was a 2003, and I actually looked it up. That kind of motorhome, it was a big diesel Porsche with dual axles in the rear, really nice one. But it had a price tag of over 1.5 million if you bought it new. And the current price you could buy one like this for today in 2022 was about 75,000. So you can see, if you buy a brand new A-class like that, during 19 years, this one had lost value from 1.5 down to 75,000, and you can buy it for 75 today. So you can find really nice used rigs, so think about that as well. You want to have money to go out, travel, have for fuel and have for fun, so don't spend all the money on the RV. Make sure you also have money left over to enjoy it. Thank you for watching another video here from Six Wheels Down. I hope you really enjoyed it. And for me to be able to continue to create content here for YouTube, please click the like and the subscribe button. That's the way you can help me to grow this channel and to continue create new content. Thank you for watching.